It is said that a light flutter of its wings is capable of causing winds powerful enough to tear a regular house down, not an irregular house. So if you have a strange floor plan, you should be set.
You're tuned into the GOCast podcast, your one-stop shop for updates, news, tips, and community in the world of Pokemon Go. Thank you for listening.
Team Go Rocket takes the wheel during Adventure Week 2024.
Mega Rayquaza Raid Day Part 2, now with 100% more remote raids.
And more on this episode of GOCast. Hello and welcome to the GOCast podcast, episode 293. It's July 30th, yet another Tuesday afternoon when we're recording. I'm your host, Chris, and as always, I'm joined by my co-host, Kyle.
Hiya.
Hey, Kyle, how you doing this week?
I'm doing good.
Yeah. Well, even?
I don't usually say well, so.
No. Unless you're going, well. About something, like that's different context. So before we get started here, Kyle, I've got a question for you.
Okay.
Why don't we have a Mr. Beast promotional event in Pokemon Go when Monster Hunter now gets one? Where is our Mr. Beast promotional event?
No, it's so bad. I don't know, but take it up with TPCI.
I don't know if it's good or bad. It's certainly strange, right?
I mean, I guess you could. It is very strange, but also there's all sorts of potential bad publicity and stuff going on right now. So,
oh yeah, but I think that is kind of like a niche interest thing on the internet. That if you care about internet culture, then you're
we'll see.
Exposed to that sort of stuff.
But it's very strange for those who don't know, who only play Pokemon weird. Go. Monster Hunter Now has a Mr. Beast collab that's going on right now. There's a Mr. Beast Sword and Shield. And that's That's about all. It looks awful. It looks truly terrible, which is fine because there's a lot of truly terrible designs when they do collabs and crossovers and stuff. So
you think it looks bad? I think it looks pretty cool.
I think it looks real bad.
Have you used it at all for the quests?
Oh, no, I haven't.
Oh, it's some cool things where you if you pull off your ult or you do like a full combo, some other weird things, you'll explode in like a red and blue, and it's like, hey, great things are happening. I don't know what the actual like bonus is, or unless it's just like gassing you up a little bit, like ooh, But anyway, the point being, very bizarre. It's strange to not see that stuff in our game, though, man. So weird. So weird.
Hey, we got an Ed Sheeran crossover.
We got an Ed Sheeran crossover, not in Go though.
Yeah,
was it?
Yeah, there was a whole Ed Sheeran event. It was all water starters because he was a water starter kind of guy. And wasn't there like a concert with the in-game music for one day as well?
I don't remember this.
What do you mean you don't remember this?
Is this a bear situation
I'm
for me?
I'm gonna Google Ed Sheeran Pokemon Go.
Okay, well, make sure you spell it like you're not pronouncing it because it's Sheeran, Sheera.
Yeah, a new collaboration event with Ed Sheeran, November 17th, 2021.
Oh, that was forever ago. I don't remember what I had for breakfast this morning, man. Come on now. Oh my gosh.
A special Ed Sheeran performance will be available through the Pokemon Go app. You'll be able to check out the performance in the in-game news beginning Monday. The performance will feature songs from Ed's new album and more. Songs include blah, blah, blah.
I feel like I just sort of coasted through 2021. I don't remember anything that happened.
They brought back Squirtle with the sunglasses for this event.
Oh, that is notable, isn't it? All right. Okay. Well, maybe I'll just be happy with that. Maybe we don't get the Mr. Beast event because
we got one. It's been 3 years. Can we get another? Where's the Taylor Swift? Where's the Taylor Swift event?
A Taylor Swift event? I want a Shaq event. That would be incredible. Where they start introducing new heights for your model. Everybody can be 8 feet tall for just like 1 week in the game. That'd be cool. There's so much potential. Anyway, boy, we ought to get started on this episode, huh? We set some goals last week. Oh, by the way, for those of you that are new here, this is a Pokemon Go podcast, I swear. We just like to have fun around here. So let's talk about our goals from last week and how this last week went, because I've got some things outside of Pokemon Go to also share. But let's start with you, Mr. Kyle. We had Mega Lucario Raid Day over this past goal-setting period of time. It was this past weekend on the Saturday. And you didn't set any goal, actually, associated with that event
whatsoever. Nope, because I didn't do it.
All right, my man. Okay. Collection challenge. Did you finish that for what was it? The
Strength of Steel?
Strength of Steel. That's right.
Yeah, I did. I finished that.
Okay. 2 million experience.
I didn't do that.
No?
It was bad.
What
Yeah.
happened?
I just didn't get as much as I wanted. I got like 1.2 million.
That's fair enough. Understood. 1.2 million is still pretty good. Clean your Pokemon storage.
I did do that. I made about 1,200 spaces.
Oh my gosh.
So yeah.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
That's a lot of space.
I just went through. I need to clarify something because I think people got the wrong idea when we talked about this a while back. I think Justin was telling us while we were in New York. When I transfer Pokemon, I do not go into the screen, select transfer, and then transfer the Pokemon. Because that's the impression that he got. I still use the tap and hold and then select a bunch of Pokemon from the screen and then transfer it. I just tap the Pokemon individually that I want. I don't hit select all, and I don't make a tag for what I'm transferring.
Okay, so when you say manually, you mean that, not one at a time.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Okay. I only one at a time shinies and legendaries.
Okay. All right.
Which is why I didn't transfer any Necrozma for this Pokemon storage cleaning. Hey, it's a problem.
It's Tuesday. I think today's Spotlight Hour is Togedemaru. What's the bonus? Is it Catch Candy or something?
It's probably Catch Candy or Catch Experience. I don't know.
It's not on your calendar, so it's not Evolution Experience.
Nope.
All right. Well, then who cares, right?
I mean, I'll open my phone in 30 minutes to tap on everything that's here. Maybe there'll be a shiny. Yeah,
I'll open it and I'll be like, okay, plus, do your shtick. But anyway, 2 out of 3 for you. That's not bad. We like that. We like achievement in any shape it might take. For myself, I set a boatload of goals. First and foremost was 5 shiny Lucario from the raid event. I went pretty dang hard on Mega Lucario Raid Day. I couldn't tell you what possessed me to do so. I mean, I knew I said I was going to raid a lot, but like I did 72 Mega Lucario raids. And about halfway through, the energy was maxed out, all that sort of stuff. I got thank you, by the way, everybody that sent me invites. Thank you so much.
How many of those 72 were remote raids?
37.
That's too many.
36?
That's too many.
Yeah, but a lot of them. Shout out to Legendary Moo. We hung out and we did a bunch of raiding, and that was a lot of fun. The cool story from that one is the beginning of the event for our time zone. I had done some remotes from some nice folks over in Australia that sent some raids over. But when our event started, the first 3 remotes that I was invited to, I did. The first Lucario was a hundo.
Wow. Okay.
The second Lucario was a shiny.
Okay, sure.
And the third Lucario was another hundo.
What? Oh,
it's
my goodness.
Statistical anomaly. So all in all, I got like a ton of Rare Candy XL. I think I'm sitting over 300, like 307 right now in my bag. And 9 shiny Lucario. The 2 hundos, I didn't get any more. I kind of blew that luck right at the beginning. But yeah, it was awesome. So definitely did that goal. I wanted to hatch 50 eggs. I only hatched 40. Sorry, y'all. I was too focused on the rating, I guess. Didn't happen. Shiny Togedemaru, I got him.
Wow.
Can you believe it?
Okay.
I actually got him. Yes. Timed research done. Collection challenge done. 23 million Stardust on hand. I am 50,000 short. It is so close, like by a nose, man. I'm a little disappointed in myself.
Dang.
Yeah.
You didn't spend any, did you?
I did. Okay. I spent a little bit. I shot myself in the foot for sure. So 4 out of 6 for me, unfortunately, and they're so close to a full 6 out of 6. Gosh darn it.
It's a tie.
It is a tie. Look at that. That's how fractions work, huh? Wow.
I got one funny story before we move on.
Yeah.
My manager likes Pokemon, but he's never played Pokemon Go.
Oh.
And he has a young child now, so he's like, I don't have time for that. And so he told me this week, he's like, I downloaded Pokemon Go and played it while I was like taking my child for a walk. This child's like turning 2 now.
Okay.
And he's like, I got 3 shinies this week. And I'm like, excuse me?
What?
I'm like, what were they? He's like, Slowpoke, Onyx, and what the heck is Pineco?
Oh,
and I was like,
okay.
Excuse me? At least one of those is full odds. I don't remember the other 2.
I'm pretty sure Pineco is the only boosted one. Onyx is full odds, and I'm pretty sure Slowpoke is full odds too. Full odds.
So I was like, well, that's and he's like, really? And I'm like, yeah, you're lucky. And he's like, okay.
That's incredible.
So fun. Beginner luck is real, everybody.
It sure is. Yeah, everybody restart your accounts now. Yeah, that's right. Oh my gosh, that's crazy. Wow. He'll never get another shiny again. Oh, also, I suppose we should mention, now this is a family friendly show, but Kyle and I have both seen Deadpool 3. And this might have been one of the only times that I asked Kyle for his opinion, and he was like, I've got nothing bad whatsoever. Nothing to say. It was perfect.
Yeah. I texted a coworker right after I got out of the theater because I knew he was seeing it later that day. And I said, it was perfect. And he's like, I can't believe that you just told me that. You better be right.
Yeah, no, it was spectacular. Heads up, it is rated R. Don't take your kids to go see it. Unless like, parent your kid how you want, of course. But we give it 4 thumbs up for sure.
I'm gonna probably go see it again this week.
Yeah, I really want to go. I really want to go see it again too. And I'll have time because I 100% an Elden Ring, so we're good. We're good. That's done. Okay. Anyway, done with all the random stuff. One more thing before we get started with the news section here. I said this at the end of the show last week. I should have said it at the beginning, so I'm doing it now. GOCast meetup is going to be at Mall of America this year. We did that 2 years ago. It was an excellent location. Rain or shine, we have somewhere excellent to play. The mall is fantastic. There's hotels attached to it, all that good stuff. It's going to be the last weekend of October. That's the 26th and the 27th. I have yet to set up the webpage for RSVP and stuff like that. I will be doing that. But for those of you that didn't hear the shout out and the spiel last time, I'll give it to you really, really, really quick. I promise. I know you want us to talk about Pokemon. I want to talk about Pokemon too. But this is free to attend. The only cost that it'll be for you is to get there and feed yourself and all that sorts of stuff. But yeah, we set up a bunch of activities. You can RSVP to them to kind of just give me a heads up for head counts and stuff like that. You don't have to do everything. You don't have to do any of the things. If you just want to show up during that time, meet up with us during like a play session and say hello, that's cool too. Although it would be cool if you gave me a heads up that you're coming, because we make like gift bag stuff every year. So you won't get one if I don't know you're coming. But that's pretty much it. More details to come. We'll talk about it more as the event approaches, because we're a few months out now. Boy, it's getting close. It's getting closer now. Woohoo! Okay. Enough about that. Let's hop into the news, because believe it or not, we've got some to talk about. Yo, what up? It's the news. Okie dokie. First and foremost, Adventure Week taking over. We got the Takeover, Team Go Rocket Takeover portion of Adventure Week detailed and put out for everybody to see and read and interpret and make opinions on. And boy, did we make some opinions on it. Let's talk about what it is. Let's talk about what it is first. When is this portion happening? Is Thursday, August 8th at 12 a.m. to Monday, August 12th at 11:59 p.m. local time. Save Shadow Cresselia. A new special research story will be available at the beginning of this event. Progress through it to receive a super rocket radar and chase down Giovanni, that rascal. You can claim this special research until the end of Pokemon Go Shared Skies on September 3rd at 9:59 a.m. local time. Shadow Cresselia will be the reward for that timed research. Quick, is Shadow Cresselia worth it?
For PvP, probably.
That sounds about right. Now, more excitingly, save Shadow Lugia. What? Shadow Lugia will be available, will return to Pokemon Go in Shadow Raids. Shadow Lugia will appear in 5-star Shadow Raids from Saturday, August 10th to Sunday, August 11th local time. So this is that Shadow Raid thing that they mentioned in the event listing for the month. So this is also that. This is the rest of all the nested things in that Adventure Week event. Shadow Suicune will not appear during the event, so don't worry about those Shadow Raids vying for supremacy. Right, you'll be fine. 5-star Shadow Raids will feature Shadow Lugia, so if you see them, it will be a Lugia, and that's that. Shadow Lugia is all right. It's as good as Lugia is.
Yeah, it doesn't. It's cool because it's Shadow Lugia, but it's not particularly special.
And when we say Shadow Lugia, we mean Shadow Lugia, not Shadow Lugia.
Yeah, Shadow Pokemon Go Lugia.
Right, not
we'll never
Pokemon
see
Coliseum or whatever it was. Yeah, or XD. Was it XD? DX? What was that game called? GX? I don't remember.
It's not GX. It was XD. I'm pretty sure. Okay. But yeah.
XD. All right. Event bonuses. Yeah, rest in peace. That we don't deserve how good that model was. Certainly not. Event bonuses. Team Go Rocket will appear more frequently at Pokestops and in balloons. You can use a Charge TM to help a Shadow Pokemon forget the Charged Attack Frustration. Don't forget to do that before the event leaves. Otherwise, you'll be waiting another 3 months probably. Shadow Pokemon Team Go Rocket grunts and their leaders, Sierra Cliff and Arlo, are using different Shadow Pokemon for this event. In addition, Team Go Rocket has also turned the following Pokemon into Shadow Pokemon. Defeat Team Go Rocket grunts to save them: Shadow Timber, Shadow Tirtuga, and Shadow Archon. So it was cool. We did get 2 new fossil shadows in this event, so it is thematic in that way. And seemingly that way only. We'll see with the rest of these details here. In Shadow Raids, in 1-star Shadow Raids for this event, you'll see Mareep, Wooper, Cranidos, and Shieldon. And in 3-star Shadow Raids, you'll be seeing Nuzleaf, Manectric, and Vibrava. And then again, a little reminder in 5-star Raids, Lugia. That's really the chase there. Field research task rewards. Some of the event-themed field research tasks will give you potentially mysterious components. You use those to make rocket radars, charge TMs, and fast TMs. I don't need those. I don't know if you need them.
I don't need those. I don't even understand how I get so many. I mean, I did 200 raids over GoFest, so I know how I did so many. But
that's right. That's right.
I just, every time I delete TMs, I think back to like 2018 when I was like, I got 3 charge TMs and I need 200.
Yep. Yeah, now we don't need them. I literally threw out 200 of each during raid day to make room for the rare candy I was getting.
Yeah. I should probably go delete some TMs.
Yeah. Why not? Do it right now. Just zero them out. Who cares? You're not going to use them.
I'm not going to zero them out because you know that then I may actually end up needing one.
If you ever want to manufacture a situation where you need one, just get rid of them all. Because then the universe will do it to it. Absolutely. Lastly, really quick, there's Pokestop showcases. Of course there are. And web store and in-game shop bundles will be available. I think there's like a $9.99 bundle in the web store that's got some Rocket stuff in it. There was a decent Rocket box floating around this last week I saw. That was like a radar and an incubator and something else for like 300 or 400 coins. It was decent. I don't think we're going to see that level of value in this. It'll probably be, I don't know. I don't know what it'll be value wise. I know it's in the bundles. They listed it on the blog. Go take a look if you want to see, but no free advertisement. But you know, buy that if you're into that, and if not, then you'll get plenty of mysterious components and stuff from the frequency of balloons you're going to see, and from tasks and things that if you're really hurting for radars, just go out and play for a little bit, and you'll likely be all right and have another one pretty soon. And if you don't even go out, they'll just show up in those hot air balloons. Those cheeky grunts. They're so funny. Okay, so that's it for the Team Go Rocket Takeover portion of Adventure Week. Now, if you listened to our episode last week, which I sure hope you did, you know, hey, we were not so hot on base Adventure Week template. And I created a space around our opinions, right? And Kyle said, hey, that's fair. Where I was like, I'm going to reserve judgment until after we learn what the scope of the Team Go Rocket portion is too, because it's essentially the same event, right? Now, let's revisit that space that we made, Kyle. Yeah. with this information, how are you feeling about Adventure Week 2024?
So I need to say something because we didn't say it last episode. And I text you about it like 2 days later. There are no fossils spawning during this event that people care about. The only thing that are spawning are Kanto fossils. Kabuto, Ammonite, and if you're lucky, Aerodactyl.
If you're lucky, trainers.
That's it. That's not an Adventure Week.
No.
Sure. Boosted shiny chance for your field research and eggs. Whatever. That's cool. But what about the people who want XL candy? What about the people who want PvP IVs? What about the people who just want to catch more of that Pokemon? It's just bad. Like it's just bad.
And there's really no reason for it either, because like Archon and Tortuga and a bunch of other fossils they have been featured in so many events. Like, you're not withholding those for value reasons, right?
If you just put Cranidos, Shieldon, Archon, and Tortuga in the wild, keep Tyrant and Amara in eggs and research. That's garbage, but whatever, I get it. The event instantly becomes better. You have a chance to get a better PvP Shieldon. You can get XL candy for your Shieldon. You can get a good Cranidos, which is still very usable. It's very good as a rock type. You can get XL candy. Like, there's so many things.
The most exciting thing in this event is actually in the Team Go Rocket Takeover. Well, there's two things. First of all, I mean, Lugia is awesome, and you can make an argument for Cresselia as well. Depending on how it, I guess, shakes out for PvP. You made a good point there, Kyle. But it is something in here that's not even a fossil, and it's Shadow Timber. I mean, we'll talk about this later, but that's the highlight. This new
I do
Shadow.
Need to say, I was wrong, but I had the right idea. I had heart. Shiny or Shadow Tortuga and Shadow Archon. I thought we were going with a theme, and we were going to skip and do Tyrant and Amara. So I had the right idea.
Yeah,
these are less exciting. These are less exciting than Tyrant and Amara, though.
Also, proof. I mean, credit where credit is due. This man right here called Lugia. He did. Yeah. I could not believe it. I was screaming, as far as you can scream, in chat with him in Discord. And I'm like, how on earth did you call that? Because it felt like so out of left field.
It just felt right. But
oh jeez, your spider totem was vibrating.
the takeover is good. Like as takeover, this is good. Mm-hmm. It has nothing to make Adventure Week itself better. No unique spawns because it's during Adventure Week, so you will just have Adventure Week spawns, which, as we just mentioned, are really bad. We'll talk about Shadow Timber later, but that's cool. Shadow Tortuga and Shadow Archon they exist. Like they're there. Archon will always be bad and go. I don't even think a move shakeup would actually help it because of its move set in the main series game is very janky.
Yep.
So yeah. Kratos and Shieldon being in 1-star raids is neat. yeah, that's it. Really.
Yeah. Also, just to revisit the base spawn pool for Adventure Week really quick. Like this is supposed to be like a rock type event. Essentially, this is a rock type event. Really, it has been historically.
It's not. I have the base spawn pool here. If you didn't pull it up already.
But I'm saying like there aren't rock types in the spawn pool this time. Historically, it's been fossils and therefore rocks. We've had other rock types as well. But there's so much ground this time. And I understand thematically it's like, oh, these are Pokemon that dig, right? Bunnelby and Diglett and stuff. Like, I get it. I understand.
Dunsparce.
But Dunsparce. I got the shiny. I don't need it no more. But but yeah. Anyway, I agree with you 100%. This is a great takeover, but it does nothing to elevate Adventure Week. So we're still stuck with the sort of like neutral, like, this is not as hot as it's been. But I'll take Shadow Lugia, baby. I certainly will. Straight to the bank. That's awesome.
As long as you go do those raids and you have somebody to do it with.
That the second part is the most important aspect of that statement.
Shadow Lugia, a lot of the last Shadow raids, 5-star raids at least, you could duo. It was possible. Shadow Lugia might not be duoable. Lugia's got a lot of defense, so
it does. And would you believe it? We'll even talk about that later. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Wow.
So you might need 3 to do a Shadow Lugia. I don't know that off the top of my head.
Yeah,
but that sounds pretty close. If it's duo, it's got to be a difficult one.
Yes, the only thing that's really helping out there is that rock typing DPS is accessible and very competitive. So chances are, even if you have like something that's not even in the top 10 for rock type DPS, you're still going to be doing pretty well.
Oh no.
What? Is it too bulky?
It is. It's a hard raid.
It's a thick boy.
5.
Oh boy.
Estimator with Dawn Wings has it at a 4.2 players to beat.
Why would you bring Dawn Wings?
Ghost
for the psychic? Yeah,
highest damage by far, best bulk. It looks like this is actually calculating level 40 counters, so if you have level 50 counters, that'll be better. But still, that is a difficult raid.
Yeah, it's going to be hard, but it'll be worth it. By the way, I just pulled up the Bulbapedia article because I was in my head, I was gaslighting myself to be like, oh, it's just psychic, right? There's no flying. Of course there is flying. But also, hey, Lugia has a unique variant called Shadow Lugia, codenamed XD001 that appeared in Pokemon XD Gale of Darkness. So you were right. Once again, Mr. Kyle, it was XD. Thank you for clarifying with your confidence. All right, let's move on to the next piece of news here, which is codenamed We Told You So. Mega Rayquaza returns in a special raid event. Remember Mega Rayquaza Elite Raids and how they kind of like didn't work for a lot of people and it was kind of a bummer? Well, they're like, we're going to do a makeup, and everybody's like, woo, great. It's still not going to be great for the same reasons it wasn't great the first time, except that this time they're doing what largely people are kind of saying that they should have done from the get-go for a Pokemon like this that we've already gotten, that people would really benefit from and be hyped about getting, if it was only more accessible than Elite Raids allowed them to be. Mega Rayquaza will be appearing in raids around the world again. Now this isn't, they didn't say Elite Raids, they just said raids. Mega Rayquaza will hatch from raid eggs in raid hours at the following time. These are all on this Saturday, August 3rd, and it is 11 a.m. local time, 1 p.m. local time, and 6 p.m. local time. In addition, there's an event bonus. The remote raid pass limit will increase to 20 Friday, August 2nd at 5 p.m. to Saturday, August 3rd at 8 p.m. PDT. So if you are blessed with friends like on the other side of the world, perhaps you could sneak in 40 of these if you are so motivated. That's expensive. Take it from me, probably not worth it. But if you were to spend on a Pokemon, Mega Rayquaza is one of the only candidates, really, that is worthwhile. It's a very good Pokemon. Number 1 in flying DPS, if I remember correctly, with Dragon Descent, right?
Yeah, and it's still topping charts as Dragon as well.
Yeah. Which is, like we said a million times, like Psychic, like Rock, Dragon is also rather competitive.
Yep.
Rather competitive. And then there's going to be the same free timed research we saw before. I don't know if it's the same. The tasks might be slightly different, considering one of the tasks was complete an elite raid, I think. This will be modified, but it is a free timed research, and it will give you a meteorite, which, if you did not know already, you need that meteorite in order to teach your Rayquaza Dragon Ascent, which is the prerequisite to be able to even Mega Evolve it in the first place. So,
yep.
Keep that in mind. Yep. And they're rare. Boy, oh, are they rare. So, Mr. Kyle, thoughts, feelings on this? I mean, I'm feeling pretty smug over here. I'll be honest, feeling pretty smug.
What else is there to say? Like, it's the mess up was not bad enough to need this kind of makeup.
I will agree with that for sure.
So that says basically everything you need to hear. This is about the best thing they could have done as a makeup possible, basically.
Yeah.
So it's great. Like, fantastic. I've no complaints really, unless it doesn't work. like it doesn't work for whatever reason. If you can't remote into them because they're accidentally still coded as elite raids or something like that. But like, if these are just raids that pop up 3 times during the day, then yeah, great.
Yeah. Yep. I mean, peeling back my like boo boo over the elite raid thing. You're right. I think this is the best we could have possibly asked for a makeup event. So, you know, kudos to Niantic for being like, ooh, yikes, maybe we should do what we should have done in the first place and make people really happy with this.
I just I have to compare it to other mobile games because I do all the time. Without fail, Pokemon Go is the least generous mobile game I've ever played. Yeah. I have played so many mobile games, all of them nickel and dime you. All of them are trying to brainwash you into spending money. All of them are super malicious. It's terrible. And somehow Go is still the least generous of all of them. And I know that sounds sounds really bad, but like, hear me out for a second. They had a huge mess up. They're giving us a makeup day. I'm over here praising the makeup day because it is really good. You still have to spend money to do this. Like,
well, yeah.
Like, what?
Outside
we are happy that we have the
yeah.
opportunity to spend more money on the game.
Yeah, this is some Stockholm Syndrome stuff right
because
here.
Like, I can reference, and this is maybe a not as accurate a reference, but in Genshin Impact, about 2 weeks ago, they rebalanced a major character, a huge fan favorite, one of the most popular characters in the game, for the way he's been working for the last 8 months. The Chinese community lost their mind. Like, they went to the government. They were sending death threats. It was really, really bad. They reverted the change. No surprise. They also sent every single person in the entire game 1,600 Primo Gems, which if you were to buy that straight up is like $28.
Oh, that's good value.
And if you were to earn it slowly in the game by playing dailies, that is roughly 22 days worth of dailies.
Wow.
24 days worth of dailies. I haven't done the exact math.
So just short of a month of like engagement value.
Yeah. And like, this is an extreme example, but like, you don't get anything like that in Go ever. For their anniversary, they don't, like, the most generous I've ever remembered Pokemon Go being was the Christmas event where you got a free incubator for 2 weeks spinning a stop. Awesome. One of the best things they've ever done. If
you went to the very first Pokemon Go Fest, which broke and didn't work back in my day, which it broke, it didn't work. We all died in the sun. It was awful. And then they cut us loose from the event early. Said, go out. There's Lugia in the city. Sorry about that, y'all. And we went out and we did that. Right. I've told this story a million times. But they gave us all $100 worth of Pokecoins.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I would consider that an outlier, right? It was the first thing, right? It's not an example of behavior, right, like that. But that was my experience of the most generous that they've ever been.
Yeah, and it's like
insane.
Why doesn't any of that exist in Go? I'm not going to downplay from the perspective of playing Go. This raid event is great. Like, this is awesome. I will do Mega Rayquaza raids because I can remote them and I don't have to worry about where I am.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yes. I should be driving back from a wedding in Wisconsin, so I'm very thrilled that these are remotable because I was a little salty. I was like, oh, I was going to try to do at least one, and now I can't. By the way, it is Spotlight Hour, Kyle, if you want to throw your ball on or something. There's so many Togedemaru around. What's happening? Oh, my gosh.
So, yeah, I'm not trying to be, like, overly negative, but I think about this all the time as I play my other mobile games.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, even from a daily resource perspective, the 50 Pokecoins is a joke compared to the free currency you earn playing daily in other games.
Yep. Agreed. Pokemon Masters is pretty good.
Yeah. And I guess, like, the counter argument here is that you can play Go forever in theory. You can just go and spin more stops and catch more Pokemon and stuff like that. And other games tend to be gated by stamina and stuff like that. I don't think that is a equivalent argument, but I understand that people make that argument.
Yeah, I would agree. Go is just also a different game than every other game. It is almost a difficult thing to compare it to another mobile game.
Go this is greedy. May sound greedy, but I've spent so much money on this game.
Yeah,
they just need to be more generous with the stuff that they give out. Like.
They need better optics, I feel like, and better goodwill, and giving out free things like digital items that literally cost them nothing to give us is a great first step. So anyway, we are optimistic and we still love this game, but all the same, that's a good point you've made. Generosity is a talking point for sure. But again, credit where credit is due. This Rayquaza makeup event is a good pivot and a great choice. So good on them. But that's it for the news. Wow, we talked about 2 pieces of news for longer than we usually talk about 4 pieces of news. Interesting stuff happening in Go right now. Very interesting. But I think it's time for Gear Up. What do you say?
I say that this week on Gear Up, we're going to talk about Conkeldurr, Shadow Conkeldurr. And is it a force to be reckoned with? You may already know, Conkeldurr is very good. It's 3rd or 4th on the fighting type charts if you don't count Shadows and Megas for the moment, depending on how much you count Keldeo. If you count Keldeo, he's 4th. If you don't count Keldeo, he's 3rd. I don't count Keldeo because I was using Keldeo.
Because bias.
Well, no, because the only way to get Keldeo to this day was if you bought that ticket. So,
oh wow, okay,
yeah, they still have not given a Keldeo like at any point. It hasn't even come back to get a second one. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, mine's bad.
Yeah, mine's. But also, like, who wants to get XL candy for it? So I'm not counting it. So it's only behind Terrakion with Sacred Sword, and Sacred Sword is busted, so it's basically impossible to beat. And Lucario, but it's almost tied with Lucario, so it's not really that big a deal. If you include Shadows, only Machamp and Hariyama are above regular Conkeldurr. And as we all know, Shadow is very, very strong, specifically in PvE. PvP, obviously, it's hit or miss. With Shadow, Conkeldurr is right underneath Terrakion. Terrakion still remains king, but one important note, Terrakion has 8 weaknesses. Terrakion, I believe, has one of the most, if not the most, weaknesses of any Pokemon in the game's history, any Pokemon. Fighting and Rock is a bad combination.
Certainly.
So that could actually bring Shadow Conkeldurr above Terrakion, depending on the raid boss you're fighting. So it's important to keep that in mind. Now for a few numbers, just to give some perspective about whether it's worth it or not. Shadow Conkeldurr has a DPS of 20.45, TDO of 507.3, That's an impressive TDO for a shadow Pokemon, want to point out. And an effective rating of 45.63. I'm not going to go over effective rating, but if you want to check Game Press's DPS calculator, they can tell you all about it. I've done it in the past. I'll do it again in the future. But it's a general way of understanding how good a Pokemon is.
It sounds almost like a threat.
It is a threat because it's quite a talking point, and people probably don't want to hear about it too often. The next closest after Shadow Conkeldurr is Shadow Machamp with a DPS of 19.65, TDO of 439, and an effective rating of 42.7. A decent gap. It's a decent gap between the two of them. Now, Shadow Conkeldurr is great. It's great to have. But, and this is a big but, is it worth investing in if you've already invested in Shadow Machamps? Is it worth chasing Shadow Timbers to try and get a decent IV1 to then power up all the way to 50 when you've had your team of 5 or 6 Shadow Machamps for however long you've had them for now?
Are you asking me, or is this a rhetorical question?
I mean, you can answer. It's a question for the audience because I don't have an answer because I don't have a team of Shadow Machamps built because that's not something that interests me.
Gotcha. As the proud owner of a Shadundo Machamp that's maxed, I'll still probably look for a good one of these just because it is good, and that's good enough for me.
You only have one. There's a lot of people we know who have 5, like level 50 Shadow Machamps.
That's crazy.
And so, like, in my opinion, it's not worth the investment for the improvement because Shadow Machamp is probably already going to do everything you need it to do. That said, one exception, I don't know the details. Hopefully they talk about it on PvP Corner, at least this week or next week. Shadow Conkeldurr in Master League is very good from what I've seen. It is better than Shadow Machamp in every single way, and it takes wins that Machamp could not get otherwise.
Is that moveset related or is that TDO related?
I think it's a little bit of both because I think Conkeldurr gets Brutal Swing.
Oh, okay.
Right? That's it's. Now I'm going to have to check. God dang it.
Was that its Community Day move? I think it was, wasn't it?
Hang on. Why is that why is that page not found? Excuse me. Why does Conkeldurr not have a page?
You're breaking the internet. Oh no.
No, their website's slightly broken. It does have Brutal Swing. So that is probably a significant factor about why it performs so well.
Yeah, I would imagine so, and that's good coverage too. So yeah,
if you do Master League, from what I've seen, I haven't seen all the details. Shadow Conkeldurr can be a very good addition as well to chase after.
Good deal. I'm kind of excited to try to find a good one. If I can get even a middling one that's like 13 somewhere around there, like I'll be thrilled to get it and level it up a bit after I hit this 23 million stinking Stardust thing. But
I missed it's one of the leader Pokemon, right? That's what's happening here. No, it's going to be in a Grunts. Never mind.
It's Grunts. Yeah.
Oh no.
Along with Tirtuga and Arkin, whatever.
Never mind. If it was leaders, I'd be like, I can burn all of my rocket radars that are sitting here.
No. You got to save those for when there's a task actually, no, this will be good for your special research for when you inevitably have to fight one of each of the leaders. You'll have those rocket raiders ready to go for your Cresselia. Are you actually going to do the research or are you just going to let it sit and fester like the other ones?
Because I have one other one right now because I did all of them for Kyogre and one for Groudon, I think.
Okay. Yeah.
So gonna let it sit there.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, thanks so much for educating us on the glory of Shadow Conkeldurr. Okay, we're going to take a quick little break here. When we come back, it'll be time for PokéLore. Welcome back. This week on PokéLore, I'm at it again. I'm prioritizing my personal favorites because I get to write the notes for this part of the show. We are going to be talking about Lugia, the diving Pokemon, because we're getting Shadow Lugia back, and that's hype in and of itself. But Lugia is also just a great Pokemon. Let's learn more about it. Lugia is a large Pokemon that resembles a dragon, a plesiosaur, and a bird. Not to be outdone, a bird, right? It is primarily silver-white, and it has blue undersides with slightly varying tones. It has a ridged mouth similar to a beak, although it has pointed teeth on its lower jaw. Also an award-winning smile, just saying. Its head has a point to the back, and Lugia's eyes have pointed blue or black spikes on them. Lugia has a long, slender neck and a smooth, streamlined body. Dark blue or black plate-like protrusions run down the length of its back, and there are 2 smaller, more pointed ones on the end of its tail. Lugia can fold back these plates to increase its speed, kind of like a diving falcon. Yeah. Lugia is covered in many scales that protect it from attacks. It has large wings that resemble hands, though it is gender unknown, as depicted in the Mystery is History, a young Lugia has been seen, suggesting there is a breeding population, at least in the anime's timeline. Oh, they're implying there's multiple timelines. Oh no, we're getting a multiverse here. In the same episode, Lugia has been shown to be fiercely protective of its young. Let's go, Lugia. Good parents, too. Oh, this Pokemon has it all. Lugia leads the legendary birds. When they fight over territory, Lugia is the only Pokemon that can quell their ceaseless fighting, as observed in the second Pokemon movie. Which, honestly, Kyle, where do you rank the second Pokemon movie in Pokemon movies?
I think I've only seen like the original 3.
So, Mewtwo Strikes Back, Pokemon
Just
2000, and Legend of the Unknown.
Yes, Legend of the Unknown is the one with Entei, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You mean Papa?
What was that?
Papa?
Oh, jeez. I think I probably put it in the release order.
Wow.
I like the Lugia movie more than I like the Entei movie.
The Entei movie was weird. It was odd.
It was weird. And I generally haven't seen most of the modern ones. So, like, yeah.
Heroes was fun. I liked that one. Number 2 is my favorite. I think it's really, really cool.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, I like the original movie for nostalgia factor and all that good stuff, but there's so many errors in it and stuff that, I mean, make it fun, but
I mean, sure, but like it's errors because it was new, not yeah.
Yeah, I don't. Hey, man.
Okay.
I really like the second movie. I think it's really rad. Anyway, much like the birds, it possesses the ability to control the weather. Most notably, it can calm and give rise to storms. It is said that a light flutter of its wings is capable of causing winds powerful enough to tear a regular house down, not an irregular house. So if you have a strange floor plan, you should be set. If it were to flap its wings, it could hypothetically spawn storms lasting as long as 40 days. Lugia is capable of splitting islands like the Whirl Islands into smaller islands.
What?
Hey, that's kind of like, tiptoeing into Groudon territory. That's kind of rude, Gosh. It is highly intelligent, and because of the devastating power it could accidentally inflict, it isolates itself deep underwater and tends to sleep in solitude. It is extremely rare and is hardly ever seen. Lugia has been referred to as the guardian of the seas. There are rumors Lugia would appear during the night of a storm. Lugia loves Lugia treats made by Snacksworth, who once encountered it in the past. This is from the DLC to Scarlet and Violet, Snacksworth.
Oh.
Yeah,
okay.
little lore.
Okay.
Right? And here we go. Lugia is the only known Pokemon capable of learning the move Aeroblast. Some stats for Lugia here. Max CP at 40 is 3703, and at 50 is 4186. It's got 235 stamina, 310 defense, and 193 attack.
It's so bulky.
Yeah, it's not doing the most damage, but it's going to hang in there for like probably all 40 days of that rain that it's making. It's ridiculous. Best moveset is Extra Sensory with Future Sight and Aeroblast. If you're running this in PvP, you can run Dragon Tail for your quick move as well. That's interesting to do, but Extra Sensory gets the stab. Future Sight is pretty decent when paired with Extra Sensory, and Aeroblast is just crazy good for a flying move. So
yeah, and Lugia can be pretty good in Master League if you're looking for that investment. Although regular is better than Shadow.
Oh, really? Probably from the TDO perspective, it probably gets to more Aeroblasts. That's the name of the game there. Yeah, Lugia's great. I'm assuming you have love for Lugia because who doesn't? I haven't met somebody that doesn't like that Pokemon.
Yeah, I like Lugia. Lugia over Ho, by the way.
Yeah, I really like Ho, but Lugia is better.
Ho is like pretty far down my list of legendary Pokemon. We should list our legendary Pokemon at some point.
Sometime when we have
like all 65 of them or however many there are.
Yeah, we should do a tier list. Maybe we could do a fun YouTube video sometime, like everybody else does. That'd be fun.
Gosh, but our tier list would be conflicting. We could each do a tier list.
No. We have to do one together, and then that video will take us 4 hours.
No. It's like, look, okay, you can put Lugia in the second tier, but we have to put Groudon in the first.
Yes, I love the bargaining that people do for those videos. It's so funny. Like they're making concessions. They're like, yeah, we have to knock your favorite Pokemon down because you inflated it, and I'll give you this in response. Like, jeez, okay. But that's Lugia. Make sure you pick up a Shadow Lugia. They're great if you're able to get a raid done. And if you already have one, maybe run it in Master League. Sounds like they're pretty good. Yeah. But that's it, which means that now it's time for PokéPoll.
For last week's PokéPoll we had, what is one aspect of the game you don't enjoy, but everyone else seems to like? Why is this the case? First response from Del Hazard, and they said, as much as I try to enjoy PvP, I just can't stick with it. However, that's an easy answer. So I'd like to go with most things related to gym defending. You could argue most people don't like it, but it's the free way to earn coins. So I imagine the larger, casual, not on X player base enjoy it. 1, I've never understood the fulfillment of golding gyms. There's no medal for it, and when you reach the max number of gym badges, the old ones disappear off your list.
True.
2, feeding berries is slow, but I do it occasionally for the dust. It's at least better than throwing berries away.
Is
also
it?
True. I mean, it is. Objectively.
Yeah.
3, I rarely battle full health gyms as it's time consuming. However, I do try to get coins every day by joining gyms with space or taking out low health gyms. I do live on a gym where there is some unspoken agreement between Valor and Mystic, so I might be a little spoiled. On a positive note, though, it's always fun taking out gyms with friends on the same team and then coordinating defenders like costume shinies, evolutions, etc. It's wishful thinking, but hopefully there is a positive overhaul to the gyms soon. And to combat my own negativity, if anyone enjoys the gym system, that's awesome. I'm always impressed by people with insane numbers of gold gyms. So I hope one day there is a way to retain them and not lose any memories or pride held in your older gyms. Man, that's a great answer. Mm-hmm. That's a great answer. I would like to steal the answer of golding gyms. I know not everybody likes it, but it's one aspect of the game where I don't actually understand it at all. More power because people get enjoyment from it. I just don't.
Yeah. It just feels unrealized. It's like, okay, great. Now what do I do with them?
That's why I want to change my answer to this, because I understand, at least when you're doing best buddies, you get a ribbon. You get a ribbon on that Pokemon, and like you get that satisfaction from it. You just a medal that disappears.
Yeah. Kind of a bummer.
So yeah.
Good answers. Really good answers there.
Next one's from Matters, and he said, hello, gents. To build on Dell's point around gym golding and ownership, I really don't get on with the whole gym etiquette thing. It really astonishes me how salty trainers get if you take them out of a gym before they've got their full 50 coins. I get there are free-to-play players out there, but they tend to be the ones who have mons in multiple gyms. I rarely take down a full health gym, and if the Pokemon in a gym are of low health or there are only 2 or 3 Pokemon in the gym, I don't have time to check how long each mon has been there for. I don't have the patience to bury my own mons when in gyms. Plus, I'm Team Valor. If it ain't red, it's dead. Sorry, not sorry, Kyle. Loving your work as ever, chaps.
If it ain't red, it's dead. Absolutely. 100%. But if it's yellow, mellow, like take it easy. Take it easy on the instinct players. If it's a Mystic gym, burn it down.
Oh man.
Yeah, good answer. The gym feedback kind of resonates a bit more than other pieces of feedback, because that definitely is like like I said, just underrealized. It's a shame. It feels like a waste right now because other parts of the game have gotten so much attention. And we've seen lots of improvements in other places. Not everywhere. I mean, raids are still raids, right? But they changed the way that the raid, like the background looks and stuff. They upped it. You know, like
yeah, I don't know.
Gyms have gotten nothing.
Raids need a serious update, as everyone says, and like they should cut the number of raids in half. Replace half of those raids with like the Elite Four or something.
Yeah.
Replace it with an actual bit of content that people will want to repeatedly do. I don't know what it rewards, but like keep the place where you can show off your Pokemon in some gyms and change the mechanics of it somehow and add something to other POIs. We need more POIs.
Yeah. Yeah, there should be a reason to like go visit gyms on the regular and like battle there. Like, honestly, that's what it is at its core. And I think you're right. Like, if you are able to invest time as a team to get control over a gym and those give you some benefits more than you get an extra item when you spin like Yahoo, something else, something substantive that would also compel me to be like, oh, I'm going to go back to the gym that we've been holding for a week now and check in and get my daily this, you know?
Yeah.
Something. I'm with you.
Yeah, absolutely. I'd love to see it. I'd be so excited if they announced a gym rework.
Yeah.
That'd
be awesome. That'd be awesome.
Our next response is from Lemurio, and they said, I dislike raiding in general, but it's worth it when you get a cool catch. But I loathe shadow raids because most of the ones I'd like to do require more than one person and are local. And to be honest, at level nearly 43, I met the first somewhat local person I've ever met who plays the game at the car repair shop yesterday. I've tried to go to meetups and have been the one person there, which is lame. So I'm all in for using the Campfire app when something I want like the Necrozma is spawning or getting invites from friends remotely who are playing. However, I watch so many countdowns on Shadow Entei's and Raikous that elude me completing that dex. I hate them because I'm willing to go to the location or pay to remote, but when I can't use Campfire to get some help, I just have to watch the handful of Pokemon I want for dex completion, or just because I like them to be all around me. But hey, on the brighter side, I was super happy to solo Guzzlord last weekend and got the most terribly small one who slides in the Great League at 14.99 CP.
Nice.
When life gives you shadow raids, as the saying goes, solo a Space Ultra Beast for condolence of knowing that you might never complete the Johto Dex, but your best buddy could swallow it up with its Ultra Beast fractal mouths.
Awesome.
It is a great point, though. It's very hard to get people to want to go out to shadow raids if there's not like an expressed reason to.
Yeah, and I don't think that the way that they've been rotating legendaries and stuff is compelling enough for people to go do it.
Nope.
I mean, the only time I've ever been excited about it has been Suicune, because I like Suicune, not because it's a powerful shadow Pokemon.
But like,
I think
did you
do
do Suicune?
I haven't done one yet. No.
Okay. See, so there you go.
How
many people are you gonna get to do a Suicune raid?
I probably only need one other person, but finding that person is the trick, no, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, you might need to, but
get my sister to come help me.
But that's the key point. We know a lot of power players. We know a lot of people who, if you ask to go do a raid, they'll be like, "Yeah, sure."
Yeah.
But like anyone who knows more casual players, it's work.
Yep.
That said, the good news is Entei and Raikou will come back to regular raids. You will be able to remote them eventually. The Johto Dex will be complete for you one day.
Yeah, there's a Shadow Dex too, isn't there?
Yeah, there is. They didn't say Shadow Dex though. They did say Johto Dex. I'm just saying.
I know.
We haven't seen Entei Raikou in regular raids for a long time. So
yeah. Gosh. Okay. Wild. I don't know how to fix it. That's all I wanted to say. I don't know how they would even fix that
make
problem.
It remotable.
Okay, I know how they'd fix it. They'd make it remotable. You're right.
I don't think that shadow raids accomplish the goal that they want them to. And I think that they gaslit themselves into thinking otherwise because they started with Shadow Mewtwo.
Yeah,
because
that was a
Shadow Mewtwo will get people to come out.
It's a big fanfare.
People will do it. But everybody else, like, they're like, I'll wait. Or I'll do one. And that just is a bummer for the people who want to do it. Because there are people who do want to do these raids. They might not have the support necessary, as Lemurio has right here. Shadow raids are not bad. Shadow raids are great. They just are not accessible to a lot of the people who want them.
Yeah, no, I agree. Yep, 100%.
All right, our next answer is from Freya Amber, and they said eggs. Sorry, Chris. I would like them better if they would do a rotation that is more interesting with more relevant mons and make egg-walled mons hatch with better odds. I also think that along with an infinite incubator, they need to introduce an infinite super incubator. Just one. That way you have one for the 2K and a super incubator for the rest. You still have to buy the incubators for egg events or if you were into egg hatching. But for people like me, I can't really be bothered. My son, who does not play, says egg hatches are bad. This is all fair. Absolutely justifiable. I don't understand why people like eggs. Chris could tell me until he's blue in the face. They don't get it.
I could not tell you.
I can think of a lot better ways of lighting $5 on fire than hatching 9 eggs at once.
I also couldn't tell you why I enjoy it. I just do. It's just fun. It's great.
They got you with that Skinner box.
They did. They sure did. Boy, oh boy. Yeah, I mean, I am a big egg proponent, but I'll also be the first one to tell you that it's kind of a scam.
So, here's the thing. Eggs are awesome. Mechanically, fantastic. You go out, you walk because we want you to walk. That's what Go wants. Great. Love it. Here's an Eevee. I caught 5 Eevees on my way over here. What do you mean here's an Eevee?
But it's got good IVs.
No, it doesn't. It has the same IVs as if I did that Eevee research that I threw out a kilometer back.
Yeah, but you also get candy and Stardust. And
of which I get if I caught the Pokemons regularly.
No. You get a chunk of Stardust.
Sure, but you get like 2,000 Stardust for a 2-kilometer catch at best.
Yeah, that's a lot.
No, it's not because it took you 2 kilometers. But you walk 2 kilometers or you catch 20 Pokemon. Which can you do first?
No, you do both. That's the thing. This is in addition to. It's not instead of.
Yeah, why you should walk eggs. The whole point of an egg should be getting a Pokemon.
I guess. I don't know. Yeah.
I just think that egg pools tend to be really bad and they make the egg experience bad as a result. If I had an egg that only gave me 4 Pokemon and I wanted all 4 of them, or they were 4 slightly harder to get Pokemon, it instantly makes it better. And I say that every time we have an event where I call it out because it's consistent. But
yeah, I'm not going to argue.
When an egg pool has 8 Pokemon in it and 5 of them are bad, that's where I have a problem. Because I think eggs as a concept they are very Pokemon Go, and that's good.
I like the chase. I really do. It's satisfying when you find the thing that you're looking for. I just almost never find it. And that makes it feel even better when I do.
Do you think here's a weird one.
Okay, all right.
What if eggs had the lucky floor instead of the research floor?
Oh.
What if eggs were even more likely to give you a hundo? That takes it from 1 in 125. Well, actually, it's 1 in like 216 to 1 in 63, something like that.
I think people will still have the same problems with it. People that hatch will just have more reasons to be happy about it.
But I think people who hatch less will also have more reward for it.
I suppose.
But that's fair. That's fair.
Yeah. I like that idea because I'm already hatching the dang things. So I'd be thrilled to get more value out of it. I like that idea a lot, though. I also think that egg hatching should have an inherent higher shiny chance. Even if it's of the slightest of boosts, teeny tiny boost, like literally anything would be really good.
It has the higher chance in the main series games if you bred them properly.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, agreed. Okay.
Yep.
Move on. Second to last one from Artemis Dragon. They said only one, guys. Oh, well, seriously though, this is a tough question because from my experience, not everyone loves hatching eggs, battling gyms for coins, or opening and sending gifts, just to name a few. It's always a small subset number of players who enjoy that one thing the rest of the group absolutely hates. So even though I love trading, I also hate it at the same time because it is very lacking as it is for the majority. There's just not enough visual awareness that someone wants to trade or any worthwhile incentive to do so. For context, we had Mega Lucario Day yesterday at the time of my writing this, and not a single person was trading during downtimes, at least from what I could tell, because they were in their cars. Again, no judgment. This is a safe space, fellas. I swear. I could have even had a lucky friend there, and they would have forgotten because trading is so passive now. It's crazy, too, because from time to time, I'll see people asking for stuff on Campfire or Facebook where someone will ask for stuff like an Elekid, but never in person. And if they do ask for a trade in person, it's a million Stardust order. Dude, wouldn't it be hot if we could post stuff we have and what we want at some sort of virtual trade center in our community on Campfire? I'd be hyped for that. That's a great Campfire feature right there.
Sure is.
Not remotely traded it. Just say you have one or say you want to trade something. Yep. Awesome. Just awesome. Yeah, this is fair. And I think it's so funny to hear Artemis Dragon say this as somebody who likes to trade, as they said any worthwhile incentive to do so, because depending on who you ask, trading is the most lucrative thing you can do in the game.
Yeah.
Depending on the seasonal bonus, depending on what you coordinate, and that's a huge problem.
Yeah.
I wonder, and this is not a fully thought out idea. If you had less trades per day and you just got more value from doing the trades, do you think more people would do trades?
I would, because the TDM is one of the biggest things.
If you could only do 10 trades a day,
yeah.
But if you traded something from 100 kilometers away, you got, 5 XL candy for it.
Mm-hmm.
Something like that. I don't know. I would too. I would certainly trade more if the expectation to get the value was not to do 100 trades.
Yeah, I'm sold on that idea 100%. I don't like sitting there for a half hour smashing the trade button. I hate that.
Yeah. Trading's awesome. Mass trading needs work.
Yeah, it certainly does. Yep. But thank you for those responses. We got one voicemail as well. This one's from Sarah Amanda.
There you go, guys. It's Sarah Amanda here. So I don't think people really love this activity. They either are they just ignore it entirely, or they just do it with great vigor incorrectly. But the AR scanning tasks, I don't feel like doing the task incorrectly by scanning my feet. I just don't like having to do them because, honestly, I like calling out field research. So tracking if I have an AR scan task or not in my list when I found a really cool task, that's just a lot of mental work. So I'm like, I'm going to just keep this AR scan task in my inventory so I'll be able to call out tasks and say, you will get the task I listed if you have an AR scan task in your inventory. Which means I'm not getting pop-ins from the AR scans, but well, it's fine. Anyway, that's all. Peace. Sarah Amanda.
Man, I haven't done an AR scan task in like 2 years.
I haven't seen one in over a year. Can somebody on Discord, maybe Sarah Amanda, you can tell me, why am I not getting them anymore? I was active for the Poffins. I was 1,000% for a Poffin reward to scan the area. I don't get them anymore. I made sure I have the accepting setting, whatever the setting is in settings, to make sure that I can get them. Yeah, mine is on. I confirmed in New York. I've still never got one. I do not have one sitting there. I know what you're thinking as you're walking right now with your earbuds in. I'm not that dumb. I don't have one sitting on my stack. So I don't know. I would love to actually get more scans. I would not do them genuinely. So sorry, Sarah Amanda, but if you have an answer, I'd love to hear it.
Yeah, I have Pokestop scan enabled too. I wonder what's up with that. I used to get them all the time. I've got 40 Pokestop nominations available today. haven't done one of those in 3 years. Longer? Oh, jeez. Yeah, no, I wonder what the deal is, because I was the same way. I also went and actually did the scans. I didn't just like scan a wall and call it a day just to get the task done. I went and did the actual thing. So I wonder what the deal is there. But gosh, good answer, Sarah Amanda. Thank you.
For this week's Pokepoll, we have: you've been given the chance to change one shiny in Pokemon Go. Which Pokemon do you choose, and how would you change it? Chris, do you have an answer?
I do, but I want to go second.
You want to go second? Okay.
I want to go second.
Well, we've tasked ourselves with not choosing the easy answers.
Yes.
Here, at least for us. There's a lot of easy answers here, but I'd love to hear how people approach it. Mine, it's going to surprise you. Are you ready?
Oh, okay. Number one will surprise you.
Yeah, it will. Pikachu.
Oh, that's a good answer.
I think Pikachu is trash. I don't care for Pikachu as a Pokemon. It's whatever. It's fine to me. I like Pikachu. Its shiny is horrendous. And it's like, you can make your argument, mascot Pokemon. Charizard is the highest, the most favorited Pokemon of all Pokemon, and it gets an awesome shiny. Why can't Pikachu have one? I don't make Pikachu make it white with like yellow accents on its face or something, like, and yellow tipped ears or something. Like, you could really play with it. There's so many fun options there. You can make it black with red accents. You can make it red. Just make it red and like
swap the cheek and skin color.
Yeah, like there's some really good things you could do there. Instead, we got Sunburn Pikachu.
Gosh. It's really great that you mentioned Charizard, because I'm choosing to use this opportunity for evil. I want to change Charizard's beautiful, gorgeous, top tier shiny back to its original one that it was before it got changed to black. It used to be just a stepwise shiny, just like all the other ones kind of are, and it was not hot.
Was it? I thought it was like a
yellow or something.
I don't think so.
Am I fooling myself here?
I need this. This is a very slow Google. Hang on. See, no, yeah, okay. In Gen 2, he was like purple, which actually I like. Purple. I like his original one better.
Purple with green wings. Yeah, look at that. Oh, okay. So, well, then that's
you can
still
make
too
them
good.
Worse. You just don't have. It's just not the original one.
That's still too good. Yeah, this kind of looks like it would be ghost type. This is still too good. I want it to just be a little bit less orange.
Little bit less orange.
I want to take this from somebody.
I want it to be more orange. I want him to look like an orange instead of looking like.
That's right.
Pale orange.
Everybody's least favorite color, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So my answer is ruin that Charizard shiny. That's right. That's it. But
it was evil. I didn't realize that was an option here.
It's always an option, man. You always have a choice. Okay, well, dear listener, if you would like to use your power for good or for evil, you can let us know how you would do so by answering this week's PokéPoll, which was, once again, you've been given the chance to change one shiny in Pokemon Go. Which Pokemon do you choose, and how would you change it? You can answer that question. We post it on X at GOCast Podcast is our handle on there. If you are a patron supporter of our show via Patreon and you're part of our Discord server, we have a channel dedicated to PokéPoll, and you can answer there if you're part of that. And hey, if you're on YouTube watching the video version, hello, YouTube. Please subscribe. Thank you. You can answer there, make a comment with your answer. You can send us an email to mail@gocastpodcast.com or call our voicemail line at 262-586-7717. And lastly, if you're listening on Spotify, you can actually leave a comment on this episode on Spotify, believe it or not, and just leave your response there. And we'll look to that when we pull these for the show. You might get your answer read on the episode. Now, normally, I would be like, and speaking of emails and voicemails, and Kyle would do his thing. Do you still want to do it just because we can't have an episode where you don't?
Sure. I think someone might be upset.
Yeah. Okay.
It's time for emails.
Except it's not because
we lied. I'm sorry.
Yeah, we don't.
It's
we don't
time
have
for
any.
no emails.
Oh gosh, that's depressing to my soul a little bit. We did get an email, but it was Saramanda's voicemail for for the PokéPoll. And we do have some leftover ones for mailbag. We should still go back and do that. But for our purposes here this week, we have no emails or voicemails to play at this time here. So thank y'all for giving us a week off, I suppose. Normally we have just so many. It's one of the largest sections in our show. I kind of want to preserve the novelty of it a bit. So that being said, if you would like to send us an email, you can by sending it to mail@gocastpodcast.com. Again, you could also call into our voicemail line. The number is 262-586-7717. Leave a voicemail there, or you can do what other folks have done in the past, which is just email me a voice file if you want to spend some time to edit it or something like that. Please feel free to do what you'd like. I will say if it's super long, we're less likely to play it because that's a lot. It can be a lot. Visit our website for all things GoCast Podcast at gocastpodcast.com. Follow us on X at GoCast Podcast, as I mentioned before, and like I also mentioned before, if you'd like to help support our show, you can for like $1 a month at a minimum there via Patreon. That is spelled patreon.com/GoCast Podcast. And that gets you access to our patron Discord, which is great. There's a handful of new people that joined this past week. It's great to see people coming in. Great to get to know folks. And then a lot of times the people that we meet at our events are patrons. And it's just really nice to put faces to usernames. So, yeah, it's awesome. We love it. Speaking of patrons and all that jazz, shout out to our Elite Trainer tier patrons. It's my turn, right? I think you did last week.
It is your turn. I did last week.
Cool. Big shout out to Bo, Daniel, Lori, Michael, Ozzy, Arkham, Marvin and Mimi, Swartz, or Hisui and Ryan, Thayer, Jason, Justin, Charles, Motters, Lee, William, Brandon, Ethan, Steven, Nick, our favorite listener, Drew 2, Camo, The Ugly Rock, Jacob, Victoria, and Sarah Lore. Thank you all so much for your generous support and helping us keep the digital lights on, amongst other things, like treat bags at the meetup this October, October 26th and 27th. Mall of America. See you there. Cool. And if you'd like to help out the show in another way and not even spend a dime, it'll be nary a minute of your time even to leave us a review. Please do. It helps us out in lots of ways, discoverability, all that good stuff. We'd love for you to do that. And if you leave us a 5-star review and it's appropriate to read on the air, we will do that. We'll read it on the show. Okay. So last thing we got to do here is set some goals. Can you believe it? Yeah.
I can.
All right. This upcoming week, we've got the Adventure Week event starting on Friday. The Shadow Takeover isn't until next week, though, which I have a bone to pick with whoever's posting on their X account, because they put out the Shadow Takeover stuff and they said this week, get ready for, Team Go Rocket to take over Adventure Week. And I'm like, what are you talking about? That's next week. We've got that. And we've also got the Makeup Mega Rayquaza Raid event for those. Essentially, it's 3 raid hours in one day on the Saturday. So keeping that in mind, what are you looking to do, Mr. Kyle?
All right. I would like to do the meteorite research that we're going to get. Assuming it doesn't require you to raid in person. If the first task says do a local raid, I will probably throw my phone in the garbage. I'm going to do the collection challenge for Adventure Week.
All right.
I'm going to get 400,000 experience. That's the current goal.
Nice. Simple and clean is the way that you're making me feel tonight. Kingdom Hearts. All right. Mine are 50 eggs, timed research, the ticketed one for Adventure Week. I am going to buy it. It's $2. And I know I said a lot of things about it last week. I'm still going to do it. And so I'd like to finish that, do the collection challenge as well for Adventure Week, and 2 wild shinies, any of them. I don't care what they are. It could be anything, duplicates, whatever the case might be. Just happy to add more shinies to the family. Yeah. And with that, that's the end of the episode. Thanks so much for listening all the way through. Make sure you're listening to PvP Corner. They've got interesting stuff to talk about event-wise, and anytime that there's new Pokemon introduced, like these shadows and stuff like that, it's always interesting to hear how it may or may not affect the PvP space if you're into that. And even if you're not, it's a fun listen. And just a reminder, again, I know I said it last week and not the week before, last week only. Star Piece, a new episode is out with Milo from the Incensed podcast. Lachlan and I had a good time hanging out with Milo and just kind of talking about background in Pokemon, podcasting, content creation, YouTube, all that good stuff. It's a good time, so give it a listen. But thanks in advance for doing so, and we'll see you in the next episode, which is 294. Until then, shiny vibes, all that good stuff. Bye.
Bye.